Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and a very good day. I am Rani Diana binti Uthman, representing my team which consists of Cik Suzana Saroji from SA Advisory, Associate Professor Dr. Nadia Abdul Hamid from Faculty of Accountancy UiTM Puncak Alam, and Cik Muhammad Faiz Aimullah Ciklah, another industry player from Hati Mudis Neighborhood, and Rauda Ankila Zamiruddin, a master student from Accounting Research Institute UiTM Shah Alam. Our product is TC-BeEZ. TC stands for Tax Computation, Become Easy. Before we introduce our product, let me first briefly explain why the product is developed. TC-BeEZ is developed due to accounting students' difficulties to have high understanding on one of the topics in taxation subject, which is tax computation topics. Accounting student is trained to maintain both accounting and taxation book, which means they're also expected to be able to prepare both financial statement and tax computation for the business entities. However, both tasks has caused dilemma for the student. This is due to the fact that financial statement is prepared based on accounting standards such as AMPERS or MFRS, whereas taxation is prepared based on Income Tax Act 1967, which compute income separately based on Section 4 of the Act. In accounting area, tax computation is the final part of accounting process since tax liability can only be computed after the financial statement is accurately prepared and audited by the auditor. However, based on current study plan, accounting and taxation subject were taught simultaneously. Therefore, the students are having problem in understanding the taxation legal aspect while they themselves are struggling to grasp the accounting technical issue at the same time. This has caused anxiety on the topics and reduced students' ability to score good marks for the topic. In the perspective of the industries, lacking of an understanding on the topic among accounting graduates will affect their job performance since tax computation is considered the most important services provided by tax industries. Well, to give further understanding on the issue, these are the abstract of the two books which need to be prepared by the accounting student. If we can see in the income statement example, the gross profit from the business is added with other source of income such as dividend, interest, rental, and others. And when it comes to expenses, all these expenses which paid out or considered paid out by the business is deducted to arrive at the net profit of the business. All this treatment is allowed under the accounting standard. However, to prepare tax computation, another rules need to be followed. The main objective of tax computation is to compute adjusted business income or solely business income, which is under Section 4A. Therefore, tax computation should only include income and allowable expenses under business and nothing others. If you can see from the format for tax computation, other income is deducted out from the net profit since this income falls under Section 4C or 4D. In terms of expenses, the net profit from the income statement need to be adjusted or cleaned from non-business related expenses which does not fall under the definition of allowable expenses under Section 33 of Income Tax Act 1967. Section 33 only allows expenses which is wholly and exclusively incurred and expenses which related to cash outflow of money. Any expenses which does not fulfill the definition of Section 33 is known as prohibited expenses which govern under Section 39 of Income Tax Act and need to be added back to the net profit of the business. And tax computation only allows other expenses which is specifically mentioned under Section 34 and expenses allowed under the jurisdiction of the ministries. Due to this conflicting regulation and various rules and provision under Income Tax Act 1967, students found this topic is too difficult and hard to digest. Therefore, we introduce the TC-BeEZ. Well, this is how TC-BeEZ advanced templates looks like. The student will fill in the income and expenses stated in the financial statement given in the question. They will then separate the income and expenses according to the provision based on the column provided in the template. For certain expenses which have specific formula, they will put them in the log cell accordingly. Once they have done with the segregation, they can check whether they have successfully and correctly applied the tax treatment. The tax computation worksheet will show how those income and expenses being listed into the format accordingly to compute the adjusted business income. If they have done the right thing, the figure true will be displayed and the amount of adjusted business income will be highlighted. Another feature of TC-BeEZ is it also provides formulated treatment for zakat. If, however, they have wrongly segregated the expenses, for example, the perjalanan and penginapan expenses being classified as disallowable expenses, the tax computation worksheet will highlight the mistakes as false. The student can then check back the mistake by looking at the amount which has been mistakenly separated. The student can always try an error and at the same time understand the correct taxation treatment for the item in order to compute the adjusted business. The TC-BeEZ also provides replicates EC form that transfer the chargeable income of the business from tax computation worksheet. TC-BeEZ is an advanced Excel formatting worksheet which helps in teaching and learning process. It bridges the classroom theory into industry practicing element since this worksheet is closely represent tax computation system used by the industry. Having this practicing worksheet help the student to be familiar with the actual system environment. The TC-BeEZ worksheet has a special features where it gives indication of true and false for the computation made by the student. Therefore, the student will find tax computation is an exciting topic to learn with these study tools. TC-BeEZ is expected to improve student understanding and interest on the topics and therefore helps to produce competent future tax practitioner for the industry. Finally, accurate tax computation for the business will reduce tax non-compliance and ensure effective tax revenue collection for the country. Well, that's all from us. Thank you.